Did you know that Canada is the second largest country in the world? That's right. This vast land of maple syrup and ice hockey has a lot more to it than meets the eye. Over the next few minutes, we'll be delving into the top 10 most fascinating facts about Canada, from its official languages to its northernmost settlement. We'll be revealing some truly amazing aspects of this country. So, are you ready for an enlightening journey through the Great White North? Stick around to learn more fascinating facts about Canada. Starting off our countdown, did you know Canada has two official languages? That's right, the Great White North is home to both English and French speakers. This linguistic duality is a cornerstone of Canada's identity, and it's deeply rooted in the country's history. Centuries ago, when European explorers first set foot on Canadian soil, they were predominantly from England and France. These explorers established settlements and brought with them their language and culture, which have greatly influenced and shaped the Canada we know today. The use of both English and French is not just a matter of convenience or preference. It's enshrined in the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms. This means the government is obligated to provide services in either language. So whether you're in the bustling streets of Toronto or the charming alleys of Quebec City, you'll find a place where your language is spoken and respected. Yes, Canada is officially bilingual, but that's not all there is to this vast nation. If you love the beach, Canada might just be the place for you. Now, you might be thinking, Canada, isn't that all snow and maple syrup? Well, yes, there is a lot of that, but there's also an immense amount of coastline. In fact, Canada has the longest coastline of any country in the world. Picture this. Over 200,000 kilometers of ocean front stretching from the Atlantic to the Pacific and up to the Arctic Ocean. It's a diverse landscape that varies from the rocky cliffs of Newfoundland and Labrador to the sandy beaches of British Columbia to the icy shores of Nunavut. And let's not forget the numerous islands that add to this impressive coastline, like the Queen Charlotte Islands and Prince Edward Island. This expansive coastline is a testament to Canada's vast and diverse geography, and it's a treasure trove of natural beauty waiting to be explored. Imagine the beach trips you could plan. What comes to mind when you think of Canada? Hockey, maple syrup? Yes, indeed. These are not just casual associations, but deeply ingrained national symbols of Canada. The maple leaf, for instance, holds a place of pride in the Canadian flag and is a symbol of the country's rich natural beauty. And then there's the beaver, an industrious creature that has been a part of the Canadian identity for centuries. The beaver was once the backbone of the Canadian fur trade, and its symbol is found on the Canadian nickel and various government emblems. Let's not forget the sport of hockey. It's more than just a game in Canada, it's a national obsession. It's a part of the Canadian culture, a symbol of their resilience and passion. These symbols, the maple leaf, the beaver, and hockey, are deeply woven into the fabric of Canadian life. They're not just symbols, they are a big part of the Canadian identity. Ever wondered where the world's northernmost settlement is? Well, let's journey to the far reaches of the globe, to a place that's closer to the North Pole than to any city. This place is none other than Alert, Nunavut in Canada. Alert is quite literally on top of the world, being the northernmost permanently inhabited place on Earth. This remote location is about 500 miles below the North Pole. And it's a place where temperatures can drop to a bone-chilling negative 40 degrees Celsius in the winter. Despite the harsh conditions, Alert is home to a small, hardy population of military and scientific personnel. These brave individuals work year-round, conducting important research in fields like atmospheric studies and climate change. So, if you've ever dreamed of standing at the edge of the world, Alert Nunavut is as close as you can get. And remember, it's not just a place, it's a testament to human resilience and adaptability. Talk about living on the edge. If you're up for a road trip, Canada has a real treat in store for you. Picture this, an epic journey from the Atlantic to the Pacific, coast to coast across the vast expanse of the Great White North. Sounds exciting, right? Well, that's what the Trans-Canada Highway offers. Stretching over 4,800 kilometers, the Trans-Canada Highway is the world's second longest national highway. It's a ribbon of asphalt that unites the country, passing through all 10 provinces, connecting east to west. Imagine the sights you'd see, the experiences you'd have. From the rugged beauty of Newfoundland's rugged coast, across the sweeping plains of Saskatchewan, to the majestic Rockies of British Columbia, there's no shortage of breathtaking scenery. The highway is more than just a road. It's a symbol of Canada's vastness and diversity, a testament to the country's spirit of exploration and connection. This is one road trip that you wouldn't forget. Let's take a moment to appreciate Canada's natural beauty. Now imagine a place where cool, clear waters lap against the shores of an island so vast, it's hard to believe it's nestled within a lake. Yes, we're talking about Manitoulin Island in Lake Huron. This isn't just any island, folks. It's the world's largest freshwater island. Spanning an area of over 1,000 square kilometers, Manitoulin Island is a jewel in Canada's crown, boasting stunning landscapes, lush forests, and picturesque beaches. But that's not all. This island is also home to over 100 lakes of its own. That's right, an island in a lake that has its own lakes. What's more, Manitoulin is steeped in rich indigenous culture, with many of its residents being part of the Anishinaabe people. It's a place where nature and tradition intertwine, creating an experience that's truly unique. Manitoulin Island, a paradise for nature lovers. It's Canada's natural beauty at its finest. Canada's history is rich and diverse. This statement holds true, particularly when we delve into the legacy of the First Nations people. The First Nations are a group of Canada's original inhabitants who shaped the country's cultural landscape long before European explorers set foot on its shores. Their influence is woven into the fabric of Canada's identity, visible in the names of cities and rivers, and in the pulse of art, music, and stories. The First Nations crafted a rich tapestry of cultures and languages, each unique, yet interconnected. The Iroquois, the Cree, the Inuit. These are just a few of the many vibrant First Nations communities that have left indelible marks on Canada's history. Their resilience, their wisdom, their respect for the land and the natural world are invaluable lessons we carry forward into the present day. As we discover more about Canada, we recognize that the First Nations people are an integral part of Canada's identity. For our top three, let's start with a breathtaking fact. Among the world's most impressive mountain ranges, we find the Canadian Rockies. This colossal formation stretches over 3,500 kilometers, extending from the U.S. state of Montana all the way into the northernmost reaches of British Columbia in Canada. What sets the Canadian Rockies apart, however, is their age and the geological stories they tell. These mountains were formed over 80 million years ago during the Cretaceous period, their peaks sculpted by glaciers during the last ice age. Their rugged beauty is a testament to the relentless forces of nature. But the Canadian Rockies are not just a visual feast. They are also a hotspot for biodiversity, hosting a wide array of wildlife from grizzlies to mountain goats. And they're home to several UNESCO World Heritage Sites. From their geological wonders to their rich biodiversity, the Canadian Rockies are more than just mountains. They are a testament to Canada's awe-inspiring natural beauty. For our runner-up, Canada's wildlife takes center stage. Nestled on the shores of Hudson Bay in the province of Manitoba is the small remote town of Churchill. This place, often referred to as the polar bear capital of the world, has a population of fewer than 1,000 residents. But it's not the human inhabitants that have put Churchill on the map. No, it's the town's other residents, the majestic polar bears. Every fall, these magnificent creatures gather along the coastline, waiting for the bay to freeze over so they can venture onto the ice to hunt for seals. This annual migration makes Churchill one of the few human settlements where polar bears can be observed in the wild. And it's not just the bears. This town is also a hotspot for beluga whales and bird enthusiasts, making it an unparalleled wildlife haven. Now that's a claim to fame. And now for our number one fascinating fact about Canada. Let's talk education. Canada, it turns out, is the most educated country on the globe. Yes, you heard that right. This North American nation takes the crown when it comes to the percentage of its population with a post-secondary education. Over half of its residents, we're talking about a staggering 56%, hold college degrees. This is not just by chance. The Canadian government places a high emphasis on learning, investing a significant portion of its GDP in education. This commitment is evident in the world-class universities found across the country, from the University of Toronto to McGill University in Montreal. This emphasis on education has reaped benefits, with Canada consistently ranking high in quality of life indices worldwide. So if you're seeking good education, you might want to consider Canada as your destination. Education is clearly a top priority in Canada. So there you have it, 10 fascinating facts about Canada. We've journeyed through the majestic Canadian Rockies, home to some of the world's most stunning natural landscapes. We've ventured into the polar bear capital, where these magnificent creatures roam freely. And we've discovered why Canada is considered the most educated country globally, with a high percentage of its population holding tertiary education degrees. Isn't Canada a fascinating country? Thank you for joining us in this journey through Canada's unique features. Until next time.